Okay, today in class we talked about our rate of change. Another way to say rate of change is by saying your slope. Your slope is your change in your y values divided by your change in your x values. So when we talked about rate of change, we said it a little differently. We said the change in the dependent variable divided by the change in the independent variable. But remember, your dependent variable is talking about your y values. Your independent variable is talking about your x's. So we're talking about the same thing we did in class today. We're just calling it something different. In order to find slope, we can find our slope two different ways. The first way we're going to talk about tonight is by looking at a graph. This is actually the easiest way to find your slope because you're literally counting. If you look at the top, we have a formula that says slope equals rise over run. Your rise, remember, your y values are on your vertical axis. So your rise is how many you're going up and down on that vertical axis. Your x values are on your horizontal axis. So your run is talking about how much you're going over. For this first graph, if we want to talk about going from our purple point to our green point, all we have to do is count to find the slope. So we go up 1, 2, then we go to the right 1. So for that first graph, our slope is just 2 over 1. Or you can just say 2. Alright, so like I said, really easy. Our second graph, to get from our purple point to our green point, we count down towards the negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over to the right, 1, 2, 3. Now, since we went down towards the negatives, instead of just saying 5, we have to say negative 5 over positive 3 because we went towards the negative 5, then we went towards the positive 3. We also could think of it as going from the green point to the purple point. If we thought about it this way, we would be going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to the left towards the negative numbers, 1, 2, 3. So we would think about it this way as positive 5 over negative 3. These two fractions are both equal. Either way, you're going to have negative 5/3. Our next way to think about slope is if I give you two ordered pairs, so 2 points. Okay, this formula looks a little different. First of all, it starts with m equals. Whenever we're talking about our slope, we want to use the variable m to represent the slope. Then it says y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. The 2's and the 1's are just referencing your first order pair or your second order pair. Okay? So for this example, my first order pair is 2, negative 3. So my x1 and my y1 are 2 and negative 3. My second order pair is 5, negative 4. So my x2 and my y2 are 5 and negative 4. So for this one, if I want to find my slope, I would say m equals negative 4 minus negative 3 over 5 minus 2. So I would have negative 4 plus 3 over 5 minus 2, which is just negative 1/3. Okay? Remember, whenever you have minus and negative, that turns into a plus. If I really want to think about this, by thinking about my change in my x's and my change in my y's, it really makes sense. Because to get from negative 3 to negative 4, I have to subtract 1. Okay, so my change in my y values is -1. To get from 2 to 5, I add 3. So my change in my x's is +3. Let's do one more of those just to make sure we got it. So for our next one, our first order pair is -6, 1. Second order pair is 4, 8. So to find our slope, we would say m equals 8 minus 1 over 4 minus -6. So 8 minus 1 over 4 plus 6. So for this one, our slope would be 7 over 10. Okay? That's all we're going to talk about tonight for our slope. So remember, 2 different ways to find the slope. Both of them are just talking about our change in our y values divided by the change in our x values.